Hi. Across the next few minutes, I'm going to look to run through a number of aspects, in particular setting out the context for highlighting the importance of financial accounts and budgets. We'll then look back briefly at 2019, move on to consider 2020 and the impact of COVID-19, and then finally looking forwards, what are our plans and priorities? Looking first at the context, if we look to the income in the financial accounts and budget, that is a great litmus test for the faithfulness of individuals in their response to God's saving love. And if we turn to expenditure, then you can look to the leadership's spiritual discernment of the priorities and plans, and that very much aligns with Ephesians 4, spending to equip, enabling us all to be God's people, living out our faith and sharing that with others. When we look at 2019, the first thing I would say is that it's a long time ago. That said, the income, £80,000, talks to me of congregational faithfulness and cheerful generosity. When we turn to the expenditure side, we see that this is less than income, but that reflects aspects of expenditure deferred, in particular around building works, the electrics and AV. Also, we have benefited from continuing generous external grants to support Claire's work, and that has meant that we've been able to set aside some money to support her continuing work in 2020 and 2021 as those grants taper down and eventually expire. Therefore, we continue to spend to equip. Also, if we look back at sort of the big picture, looking back over 2 to 3 years and perhaps forwards 1 or 2 years, I expect total income will be matched by total expenditure. Therefore, over a period, a balanced budget largely reflecting giving today, supporting tomorrow's known priorities and plans. Without wishing to state the obvious, this year has been a strange year. COVID-19 has stripped away many aspects of our life together. If I look at the church finance aspects, we had already budgeted for a lower level of income, and that was due to recognising that several people, families were moving away and others were moving into different phases, circumstances within their lives. COVID-19 will exaggerate that drop of income, and therefore we expect income to fall further than initially expected. On the expenditure side, again, several areas of substantial expenditure are deferred, but plans are taking shape to see works undertaken in 2021, and that will be for the boiler room, the electrics and AV. We have additionally been able to commit to Josiah through to mid-21, enabling us to grow mission and outreach as well as discipleship, again very much reinforcing the spend to equip approach. In summary, we expect a small deficit in 2021 across the general income and expenditure, Claire and Josiah. Looking forwards, we continue to spend to equip, and that's both on people and the building facilities. If we look at the work that Claire's been doing, which is fabulous, what we do know is that the grants will reduce and fade away through 2021 and 2022. If we are to cover the consequent gap, then we need to see congregational giving increase over the next 6 to 18 months. We've got that period as, having set some monies aside over the past couple of years, we are able to support and soften that transition from a grant-led funding structure to a church congregational funding structure. When we look to the building, the boiler room, the electrics, the AV, these are all expected to happen through 2021. We do have some support from the diocese, but it's also a difficult environment for grants, and therefore you'll be aware that we launched a financial appeal just as we were going into the summer. Currently too early for feedback on that, but it's something that we do need to work through together as a church. One final aspect is that you'll see from both the 2019 accounts and in due course the 2020 accounts, there's currently about £25,000 worth of gift aid monies that are due from HMRC. That is why we have been approaching you just to tidy up our records and get some new gift aid forms in place. So I will be again approaching people so that we can ensure those monies sit in our bank account rather than with HMRC. Hopefully that gives you a broad overview of where we are and where we plan to go, but happy to take any questions.